Cardio is one of the most essential tools in all of fitness. Be sure to watch till the end to find out how to properly utilize it in your fitness routine. Let's start off with one of the most common questions. Do you need to do cardio in order to lose weight? Okay, let's break it down. Let's say your maintenance calories is 3,000 calories per day. Your maintenance calories is how many calories you burn in a day, which includes any exercise or non-exercise movement. Even simply existing burns calories. As of right now, you decide to go on a cutting phase and want to lose about 1 pound of weight each week. Since there are about 3,500 calories in a pound, that means you'd need to be in a caloric deficit of 500 calories every day in order to lose about a pound a week. That means at the end of the day, your body should be taking in about 2,500 calories per day. In order to be in a caloric deficit of 500, you'd either need to simply consume 500 calories less than 3,000, or somehow burn an additional 500 calories to get to 2,500 if you were to continue consuming 3,000 a day. So, if you decided to do absolutely no cardio and just decided to consume 500 calories less than your maintenance, you'd lose as much weight as someone who's stuck to consuming their maintenance calories and burning off an additional 500 with cardio. However, for a lot of people, consuming 500 calories less can be difficult to stick to, and same goes for burning an additional 500. My preferred method of losing weight is doing a combination of both. I honestly find it less difficult to burn more calories than not consume them, so when I go on a cut, I usually consume 200 calories less than my maintenance and burn 300 extra calories doing some kind of cardio. Also, if you're someone who is just starting their lifting journey, lifting weights with high intensity actually burns more calories than cardio does, but I don't recommend just skipping it even if you are already training with high intensity. So in short, no, cardio is not actually required to lose weight. Yes, you can lose the same amount of weight in the same amount of time by being in an equivalent caloric deficit to that of burning however many calories you were to not consume, but cardio can make the weight loss process easier for many people. Alright, so you know that cardio is not absolutely necessary for cutting or losing weight. However, I don't recommend skipping cardio altogether, even on a bulk. With that said, let's talk about the main benefits of cardio. A very common myth about cardio is that cardio kills gains. This cannot be further from the truth. Improving your cardiovascular health can actually see better muscular development. It may seem a bit counterintuitive given that you need to be in a caloric surplus in order to gain mass, especially muscle, but cardio actually makes muscular development slightly more efficient. Cardio allows your blood to flow better, which means your muscles get better nutrient absorption compared to doing no cardio at all. Doing cardio also improves oxygen transport efficiency, which will allow you to have more endurance for working sets, and over time, consistently doing cardio will even lower your resting heart rate. And the benefits don't stop there. Cardio even boosts brain function by boosting BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is a protein crucial for neuron survival, growth, and function. Boosting BDNF helps with mental clarity, your learning and memory abilities, and even decreasing anxiety and depression. Cardio also makes your body more sensitive to insulin, which leads to better blood sugar control, carbohydrate tolerance so that the carbs you consume actually get converted into usable energy instead of being stored as fat, and of course, having high insulin sensitivity means your body will burn more fat for energy, making fat loss even easier. Other benefits include better sleep quality, lowered stress by lowering cortisol over time, and higher energy levels from increasing mitochondria density. While there may be many benefits to doing cardio, we also need to discuss the potential drawbacks that cardio can bring. Firstly, it is entirely possible to overtrain and do too much cardio. Doing cardio for long amounts of time spikes your body's natural stress hormone, cortisol. Cortisol plays a role in mobilizing fat used for energy and enables you to push through rough training. However, having too much cortisol all the time by placing your body through chronic stress can lower testosterone levels, making it harder to recover, grow more muscle, and getting stronger. Studies have shown that endurance athletes like marathoners have significantly lower testosterone levels compared to power athletes. Overtraining cardio can also lead to joint pain, loss of motivation, trouble sleeping, a crushed libido, and even muscle loss due to the excessive stress and usage of your muscles. Too much cardio can start to eat away at muscle for energy. Even worse, too much cardio can actually have the opposite intended effect. Lots of people start doing cardio in an attempt to lose weight, but too much cardio actually slows your metabolism down due to the fact your body is trying to conserve its energy, making it counterintuitively harder to lose weight. While all that may sound scary, keep in mind for those of us just casually lifting, you're probably far from the overtraining cardio threshold. But for my more advanced viewers, just ensure that you're not overdoing cardio. Alright, so we know that cardio is very beneficial, but if done wrong, has more negative effects than good. So where is that sweet spot to reap all the benefits without falling into the negatives at? Well, that sweet spot is called Zone 2. Zone 2 is a heart rate training zone where you're working at a moderate intensity, enough to challenge your body, but still primarily using fat as fuel. Your body will get its maximum aerobic benefit, minimize stress and cortisol, and minimal muscle loss as long as you're eating correctly. In order to get into Zone 2, your heart rate should be at around 60 to 70% of its max. You can find your optimal fat burning range by subtracting your age from 220 and finding what 60 to 70% of what that number is. For example, if you're 25 years old, subtracting 25 from 220 equals 195, which means your optimal fat burning range should be around 117 to 137 beats per minute. In order to see the best results, try to stay in this range for 30 to 45 minutes. That way, you're not spiking cortisol too much and using as much fat as possible for energy. Staying in Zone 2 also can increase testosterone levels, enhance recovery, and optimally strengthens your cardiovascular system. In addition to Zone 2, you can also do low intensity or high intensity cardio as well. Low intensity cardio primarily uses fat as fuel, not as much as Zone 2, but if you're looking for something easy, low intensity has your back. It's best to do low intensity cardio after a workout, eating a meal, or first thing in the morning, and bonus points if you go out in the sun without a shirt. Examples of low intensity cardio include walking, light cycling, and light elliptical. To keep the intensity low, try to keep your heart rate at about 50 to 60% of your max. Using the example from earlier, a 25-year-old should shoot for 98 to 117 beats per minute. Moving on to high intensity cardio, high intensity should be treated much more carefully than low intensity or Zone 2. High intensity cardio, also known as HIIT, does not use fat as the primary fuel source. Instead, it mostly uses glycogen and a little bit of fat. Examples of HIIT cardio sessions include sprinting, jump roping, and burpees. One of the best benefits of HIIT cardio is that it boosts your EPOC, or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, which means your body will still be burning calories even after training. However, training HIIT cardio too often can lead to many drawbacks, which include every single one I listed earlier. Try keeping your heart rate at around 80 to 95% of your max. For a 25-year-old, that means your heart rate should be at around 156 to 185 beats per minute. Okay, so how can you optimize cardio to the fullest? Well, lucky for you, I built a chart for the beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. Feel free to pause the video to take a look at it. Now that we've discussed everything about cardio, let's simplify everything you've learned in this video. Cardio is not absolutely necessary to lose weight or body fat, but it does expedite the process, and I highly recommend doing some form of cardio and not just skipping it, even on a bulk. Doing regular cardio benefits your body extremely well and can improve muscle gains, mood, and of course, your cardiovascular system. If you want to burn the most amount of fat, try staying in Zone 2 while doing cardio. If you're looking for something easy and something you can do all the time, consider low intensity cardio. It won't burn as many calories, but it's easy on your body and still effective. If you're looking to burn a lot of calories in a short amount of time, try high intensity or HIIT cardio. Just be sure to not overdo HIIT cardio as it can lead to all the aforementioned drawbacks. And that's it for today's video, everybody. If you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to give it a like. And if you really enjoy it, be sure to subscribe. If you think somebody can benefit from this video, be sure to share it with that person. Be sure to leave your thoughts and questions in the comments. I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.